So I'm Elle Palmer, and I've come in today as a guest speaker to help you with some emotional regulation techniques and basically to transform stress into resilience. So I've done a post about 10 minutes ago, and I've posted like some of the images just in case, like if you watch this video and you're thinking, what the hell is she talking about? You can look at those images. It will explain things a little bit more. You can have them for your own reference. I feel like it just makes it easier. I'm a visual person and visuals really work really well for me. I know not everybody is, but I thought I'd post them anyway so that I'm not just talking at you and you do have something to reference. So I'll try and keep it short and sweet because the technique itself is so simple, so simple. Your mind will probably say, like, it can't be this simple. Like these techniques are backed by science, and you can do your own research on them and have a look into that if that interests you. But they're overlooked. Not because they're so difficult, but because they're so simple. And I'm on a mission to try and help people realize just how transformative these techniques are and have been in my own life and in my clients' lives, and I'm doing a lot of community work now, and I'm seeing massive transformations there. So these really do work, and they work with, if any of you are familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza, you'll know it's heart-brain coherence. If you know of the HeartMath Institute, that's where I've done my certification. Everything that I'm talking about today are HeartMath practices. So if you're familiar in heart-brain coherence, then this is not new to you. But for those who are not familiar or may well know a little bit about it, but not really practicing it in their daily lives, then this is for you. So we are going to be working with we're basically syncing up our heart, our brain, and our nervous system. And it's releasing stress. It's building, when you do these practices consistently over time, you are building emotional resilience. You're expanding your emotional capacity so you can you basically can cope with more, but it doesn't feel like you're coping with more. Like if you are running on empty, you know, the term running on fumes, and then something happens, you're more than likely going to just completely lose it, crumble, outburst, meltdown. Whereas if you are topped up and you are, you know, you're in overflow and you're energized and you're feeling at your best, and then something happens, you're going to be able to cope with it a lot better. And these practices help you build that resilience, help you stay topped up. So you will see that one of the images is called, which I don't have right in front of me, silly me. I'll put it there for you, but not for myself. So I'll get it up now. Here it is. So it's called, I did a workshop called Topping Up Your Inner Battery. And so this worksheet says, what is your inner battery? So I'll just read it. Your inner battery is your emotional capacity to feel replenished and filled up with energy. It's natural for our energy to become depleted as we go about our day, meeting life's demands and challenges. But it's important for us to keep our energy topped up throughout our day and never allow our energy to drain away completely. To avoid burnout and unnecessary conflicts and even physical ailments such as migraines, tension and back pains, and even some of the more serious illnesses. Even the loveliest person can be not so very nice when their emotional energy is low, but there are ways that we can be more emotionally resourceful so that we can feel our best more of the time, show up for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for our work as what I like to call our favourite version of self. So just to talk a little bit about resilience. Resilience is the capacity to prepare for, recover from, and adapt in the face of stress, challenge, or adversity. So when I'm talking about resilience, I'm a certified building personal resilience coach, trained with the HeartMath Institute. And when I talk about resilience, that's what I'm talking about. You having the capacity to prepare for, recover from, and adapt in the face of stress, challenge, or adversity. So it just puts you, it basically sets you up to win. It sets you up to succeed no matter what's happening in life. It sets you up to be able to cope and manage and deal with things. It sets you up to be able to pivot if you need to pivot without the dramatic meltdowns or the feeling like a failure or the feeling like you know, like you're not able to cope and manage. And that's what we want to eliminate, because like I said before, there's a lot of stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline constantly running through your body when you're constantly running from this place of stress response. And obviously some stress is good. We need some stress. So, you know, if we didn't have any stresses at all, we wouldn't, you know, move ourselves. We wouldn't, you know, get to our deadlines. We wouldn't do the things that we need to do. So there's a healthy pressure, and that's amazing. But then what happens is, as stress builds up and more challenges come in and more things happen and the days continue and you are not topping yourself up regularly, it goes from feeling like healthy pressure, there's a perception change, and you now start to feel like you're not coping. This is too much. I'm not going to meet the deadlines. I can't do this. I can't pull this off. And that perception change is what really starts to put you on this downhill spiral then, where the stress is building up, you're now depleting your energy, your mindset, your emotional state is now draining and depleting, and then you'll find yourself burnt out. And this can happen, you know, gradually and then once, and you can become really, really ill from being burnt out. Or this can happen in cycles. And I found this happen to me in cycles. I lived in this constant stress response, burnout, stress response, burnout, stress response, burnout. And I didn't understand why. It happened for so long. And I'm talking about decades. I'm nearly 43 now. It happened for decades. So it just became the normal until I couldn't do it anymore. And through practicing these techniques in my own personal life, my life transformed so much that I just had to teach it. I had to do the certification, and now it's what I do. And I love teaching it, and I love awakening people's minds to these concepts and ideas and showing them just how simple it gets to be. So before I dive into the technique, I do have some of the science. Now, not everybody needs this, but I love all the energy healing, mindset, manifestation. I love all that stuff. Like it is so me. But at the same time, I love to know the science. But how does it work? How? Like, how does it work? And what proof is there? Proof is there that it works. Like, I need the science as well. So I love, which is one of the things that I love about the Heart Math and Dr. Joe Dispenza and all that kind of stuff, because it bridges the gap between science and spirituality. And I love that. It's my thing. So I could talk about this for hours. But when I say what is Heart Math, so you'll see a sheet and it looks like this. It's got like the graph. It's got the graph on it. In my previous post, and it just tells you a little bit about it. So Heart Math will help you transform your stress into resilience to achieve higher levels of performance and to live your life with more heart, health and happiness. Heart Math is a system of simple and powerful self-regulation techniques which are easy to learn and designed to be used in the moment, whatever the situation, meaning that you can bring your best self to your personal, social and professional lives. Add heart and change everything. And everything I do is about adding heart into your life, doing it from the heart. And by the heart, yes, we're talking about following your dreams and doing it from this place of love. Yes, but at the same time, there's a lot more to it when it comes to heart intelligence. And Heart Math has all these studies that prove that although people think that the brain communicates more with the heart, there's evidence to prove that the heart communicates with the brain more than the brain communicates with the heart. So when we are doing the technique, you'll understand why we focus in the heart area. We put our energy in the heart area because now we're basically telling our heart to communicate with the brain, which then syncs up and harmonizes the rest of the body, and it's all just amazing. So you'll see on this graph, I won't go into it all, but you'll be able to see the benefits of Heart Math on this graph in that on that worksheet, and it just tells you basically the benefits and the percentage of people from these studies, you know, improved sleep, improved calmness, improved fatigue, and all that kind of stuff. So you can look into that yourself because it's there for you. So the next one says, studies conducted with over 15,000 people have shown significant improvements in mental, emotional and physical well-being in just 6 to 9 weeks using HeartMath training and technology. And by technology, I mean, we basically measure the heart rate variability. That's how we do things in the HeartMath world. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So this success is based upon helping people learn how to add heart. We discovered that heart rhythms offer a powerful reflection of our inner state. During stress, our heart rhythms become chaotic, stress hormones are released, and brain activity changes, making rational thinking harder. Adding heart empowers us to shift into a more balanced state, which we can then use positive emotions to benefit perception, rational thinking, and communication. It's simple and powerful, and with practice, the impact can be profound. So if you were to look at the other diagram that I have, let me find it for you. You will see that it has some heart rhythms at the top, and then it has images of the human brain. So if you look at that, that's going to explain, it's going to give you a visual of what I'm talking about right now. So like it said, we discovered that heart rhythms offer a powerful reflection of our inner state. So when you are measuring your heart rate variability, and the technology that we have is like, it's just a little device, we clip it onto our ear, and then it's connected to our phone. And basically, if you'll see by the top image here, where it's red, so we're going to first talk about these top two images, and you'll have the access to the image from the previous post. So the image in red, and this is what we call an incoherent state, when you're in a state of anxiety, fear, frustration, worry, sadness. You're in these negative emotions, and your heart rate variability is very chaotic and jagged. And if you look at the image, you can see just how chaotic it is. Then when we do the HeartMath technique and we are doing the heart focus breathing, and then we re-experience a positive emotion, this is what we call a coherent state. Stable heart rhythms. And when you are basically re-experiencing an emotion such as care, appreciation, gratitude, love, calm, your heart rate variability, your heart rhythms then become very smooth and rhythmic. And this is a reflection of your inner state, and it can be measured on the outside with these devices. So we know that these techniques do work. These techniques actually work to stabilize your body, to regulate your nervous system, to stop those stress hormones being released. And now, if we go to the second set of images, which is of the human brain, and you'll see again, we're using the red and the green. The red to show the incoherent state, and the green to show the coherent state. So, heart rhythms and brain function. So when you are in an incoherent state, you've got these chaotic, erratic heart rhythms. Well, it's not even a heart rhythm, it's quite chaotic. There's no rhythm to it. You are decreasing the activity in the front of the brain, which is where your rational thinking happens, and you are using more of the back of the brain. So you increase the activity in the back of the brain, which is survival mode. It's fight or flight. It's where all your negative memories are stored. If you've ever found yourself stressed and overthinking, and you are just like remembering when this happened last time, and you're now thinking of all the things that have gone wrong before and how it may happen again, and it's because you're using the back of the brain and you're in an incoherent state. So you've got chaotic heart rhythms going on, you've decreased the activity in the front of the brain, you've increased the activity in the back of the brain, stress hormones are being released, cortisol, adrenaline, and some others, and you are now in a very incoherent state. And when you are in this state, it's, if this is prolonged or this is regular, that's when issues start to happen. That's when, in this state, you are now in draining and depletion mode. What most people call survival mode, but it's draining and depletion mode. Basically, you are absolutely leaking energy. And the studies have also shown that these, even after this has happened, so you get in this stressed out state and something happens, and then maybe you'll calm down, these stress hormones, cortisol, can be continuously releasing in your body for a good up to 3 hours after a stressful blowout. So it can then carry over, it can then affect your sleep, it can then carry over into the next day, and it kind of starts off the next day on the same footing, and it can continue, and that's what leads to burnout. So as you can see from the next one, if we then do the heart focused breathing technique and we get ourselves into this coherent state and we sync our heart, I always do this, heart, brain, I never know where I'm going with the hands, but if we do this and we sync our heart, our brain and our nervous system, and it all becomes harmonized, and our body systems are now working together as opposed to working against each other and everything just being chaotic. There's harmony, there's peace, there's stability, and you are now in this state where you can feel safe and secure and stable in this present moment. It also, the breathing technique brings you into this present moment. You're no longer worrying about the past, remembering the past, reliving the past, worrying about the future or what's going to happen, what the consequences may be of whatever it is that's causing you stress. Or you're now here in this present moment and able to just ground into this moment and be here. And now you're going to decrease the activity in the back of the brain and you're going to increase the activity in the front of the brain, which is your processing and cognition, your rational thinking. And from this place, you can make a better decision. So when you are continuously practicing this, and it's so simple that you can do this anytime, anywhere. One of the things that I absolutely love about HeartMath techniques is that this is not meditation. This is not breath work where you need to be like, where everyone can see and hear it. This is very subtle breathing, conscious breathing. And you can do it anywhere, including whilst you're driving. You don't need to find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, because let's face it, who's got time when you've got a very busy life? Who's got time for that? You don't need to do that. You can do this anytime, anywhere, because this is not a relaxed state like meditation. This is a regulated state. You're regulating your nervous system, but you're not relaxing. Does that make sense? So this can be used on the go, in the moment. And that's what I absolutely loved, because when you've got a house full of children and you're working, and as a single mom, like I didn't have time to find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed in order to calm my nervous system and calm down my mind. I didn't have that luxury, so I had to find something that worked for me on the go. And, not many, it's honestly, to say that HeartMath is such well known in the world of heart-brain coherence and spirituality and science and neurocardiology. It's known in those worlds, but it's not known, it's not mainstream, and I'm on a mission to change that. So I love teaching this kind of stuff because it is there, and it's simple, so simple that it's so overlooked. So I really want to share the technique with you now, just because I've talked so much about the science. I can't really see how long I've been talking for, maybe about 20 minutes or so. So, quick coherence technique. So, heart-focused breathing in itself. What is coherence? So, coherence is an optimal state in which the heart, mind, and emotions are operating in sync and in balance. Physiologically, the immune, the hormonal and the nervous system function in a state of energetic coordination. When you are coherent, you increase your mental and emotional flexibility and your capacity to be in charge of yourself. So I always say when I'm teaching this, like the whole point of this is that you feel in control of yourself, therefore you feel in control of your life. You can change the way that you experience emotions and the way that you express emotions, because it puts you in charge of that. Rather than life happening and you reacting, life happening and you reacting, you now come into this place where life happens and you can make a very informed decision. You can respond from a place of synchronization, harmony, coherence. So I hope that makes sense. So focusing on the area of your heart. what you're going to do is just focus on the area of the heart. If it's safe for you to do so whilst you're watching this, then you can put your hand on your heart, and you could close your eyes if you really wanted to. But say if you were driving, you could do this just focusing on the area of the heart and still being awakened to what it is that you're doing. That's how safe this is. So we're focusing on the area of the heart, and even though we're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, but we're going to breathe deeper and slower than usual. So in through the nose, out through the nose the whole time, but you're going to imagine that you are breathing in through the heart and out through the heart. And it's as simple as that. That is the heart focused breathing technique. In through the heart, out through the heart. That's all you need to remember. So focus your attention in the area of the heart. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart and chest area. Breathing deeper and slower than usual. Let's just practice this for 3 breaths. I'm going to put my hand on my heart because it's safe for me to do so. So, in through the heart. And out through the heart. Remember, deeper and slower than usual. In through the heart. And out through the heart. In through the heart. And out through the heart. Now we do this for around, we say at least 1 minute, but 3 minutes is great. 20 minutes is absolutely amazing. Just those 3 breaths alone is enough to start regulating your nervous system and syncing your heart, your brain, and your nervous system together. Let me know in the comments how that feels, because it's an instantaneous shift. It's literally all your body systems just sync up. You're here in this present moment. You're safe, you're stable. Like, there's such a rapid change. Imagine if you continuously did this all day, every day. Now, obviously, you've got to breathe all day, every day anyway. I always say this to people. There's no like limitations to this. There's no excuses not to do this, because like I said, you don't have to find a quiet place and sit down. Like, this is on the go. You're breathing anyway. All you're going to do now is consciously breathe, and you're going to breathe in and out through the heart. And this is going to transform your entire physiology, your body's chemistry. It's going to transform your emotional state, and there's science to prove it. And this is the most exciting thing. How easy is it? Why is it not something that we all know about? And more people need to know this. So that's the heart focused breathing technique. That in itself is enough. I could leave this here. You could practice that in your life, and I promise you'll come back to me next week and tell me how much it's transformed your life. But what I want to do is just take it to the next level just a little bit, because it just I don't want to say magical because it's not, it's science, but at the same time it is quite magical as well. So the next step is, whilst you're doing the heart focused breathing, you then make a sincere attempt to experience a positive emotion. We call them heart qualities or heart emotions: love, care, compassion, or appreciation. If you can just make a sincere attempt to really feel, really re-experience one of those emotions. Maybe think of someone or something or a place that just makes it really easy for you to activate that emotion within you. Whether it's your pets or your children or, baby or your loved one, a place you like to visit, like anything, just any memory that you have that felt really good for you. If you can do the heart focused breathing technique and then re-experience that positive emotion, it just really kicks that up into a gear. So not only now have you stopped the stress hormones from being released into your body, Now what you're doing is you're now making your body, you're controlling your body's chemistry, you're now making your body release the feel-good hormones. So dopamine, your serotonin, like your oxytocin is the main one we want to go for. Oxytocin, the love drug, the hug drug, whatever you want to call it. Like that's what you're now doing. So you are basically taking back control of your entire body. Now imagine if you practice this regularly, all day, every day, and you start to top up your energy, you start to use more of the front of the brain most of the time, and maybe you already do, but just not when you're stressed. You're able to now have this awareness, because let's face it, we have awareness of when we're stressed. If I says to you, what happens to you when you are stressed, you'd be able to tell me, you know, whether it's, you know, you breathe faster, you start to get hot and palms get sweaty and heart beats faster. Like you'd be able to tell me, you know. For me, it used to be, I didn't realize how much I was tight. I had a tight jaw. I didn't realize how much my shoulders, I was living with my shoulders up there. You know, there was so much going on that I wasn't aware of until I started doing these practices. And now I have this deeper level of awareness of myself, of my body, of my emotional state. And like I said, I can change the way that I experience emotions and the way that I express them. And that puts me in control of myself and my life. That puts me in a place where I'm more topped up than I ever was before, meaning I'm less reactive. I'm a human being. I still react. I'm not going to say that I don't, and I'll never say that I'll never react ever again. Of course I do. And especially if I'm going through something that I've not been through before, or, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Life happens. We don't judge ourselves for these things. But what we want to do is actively take control of ourselves and find these tools and these techniques that really help us with this, because this is how we transform our lives. And this is how we go from living in survival mode to living in the replenishing mode, they call it in the heart math world, from fight or flight to rest and digest. So there's all these different terms, but basically this is how you transform stress into resilience. This is how you become more emotionally resourceful, because our entire life experience is based on our emotional experience. You know, if we're feeling good, then we're enjoying life. If we're not feeling good, we're not enjoying life. So it's about taking back control of that and having that awareness. Okay, I'm not feeling great right now. My body's reacting. I'm reacting. I'm going to take control of this and I'm going to harmonize it. And not only am I going to take control of how I express my emotions, I'm also going to take control of what's actually happening in my body, with my body. You know, people who have been having panic attacks for years are now able to calm their bodies down. A woman said to me, I've tried breathing techniques, they don't work. And I said, yeah, but you haven't tried heart-brain coherence. She's now saying to me, look, you know what, like, I'm so glad that I tried this, because it's not perfect and I've not fully stopped having panic attacks, she went, but I actually feel for the first time in my life that I have some control and that I can end the I can end the panic attack, rather than just letting it play out for however long it's going to play out and waiting for and hoping that it, you know, that it subsides quickly. She's now taking back control of her panic attacks, which she didn't even think was possible. And that is the most amazing thing, because now she's starting to feel like, actually, I can change my life. Actually, I do have some control. And that's just one person. So if you want to find out more about this, if you want me to do more on this, or you just wanted to sit, I don't know, maybe once every other week, and just doing these techniques within the group, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know how you feel. Practice the heart breathing technique, and I will be back and to speak to you all soon. Have an amazing rest of the week, and I'll try and end this live now.